Today, we got to talk about a shoe which has become iconic. I'm talking about a shoe which has developed as passionate and dedicated fan base as any shoe. I'm talking about the Adidas Ultraboost 1.0. Now, many people would even go so far as to say that the Adidas Ultraboost 1.0 are the most comfortable all-around shoes. Now, I don't know about all that, but I do personally believe that the Ultraboost 1.0 are at least in the conversation.
Who gives a shit?
My name is Larry Powell, and I've reviewed lots of shoes on this channel. And I'm all about shoes for the average guy so we can step through life more comfortably doing whatever it is you want to do, whether it's run or walk or just rock your shoes casually. Now, the Ultraboost 1.0 aren't perfect either and aren't going to work for everyone. No shoe is. But I do believe the Ultraboosts are comfortable in a unique sort of way, different from many of the max cushion shoes which are so popular today. Which is part of the reason they're not going to work for everyone. But it's the same unique trait, which is also the reason that many people, including myself, find them so great. In this video, we're going to get into what that unique quality is. And this box, well, we're going to get into that too, because this box represents something that I rarely do as of late.
That I probably should have kept to myself.
So yeah, let's get on with it. The Adidas Ultraboost 1.0, 1 year later. Now, our story is really the story of these old beaters right here. Here is the best way to describe my relationship with the Adidas Ultraboost 1.0. Do you know what it's like to have a thing?
That's not what I meant.
If you're like me, then you probably know what it's like to have a thing or maybe even a couple of things. Most of us do at least have a few. Maybe it's a comfortable, well-worn t-shirt or a hoodie. Or maybe it's a comfortable chair that you've sat in so much that it's conformed to your body and isn't comfortable to anyone else in the entire world. Or maybe it's your old bailout club that always seems to make its way into your golf bag no matter what. Point is, we all know what it's like to have these things that just work for us. Things that we can rely on. As you may have guessed, for me, one of my things is this pair of Adidas Ultraboost 1.0 sneakers. The Adidas Ultraboost 1.0 were first released in February 2015. And in the decades since their release, the shoe has been elevated to a classic status. And as classic shoes do, the Adidas Ultraboosts are still available today and have been ever since their release more than 10 years ago. Now, one of the things that can be great about buying a classic model shoe is they've been around for a while, so you can often find great deals. Which brings me back to these Adidas right here, which I purchased online from Dick's Sporting Goods for just $76. Now, I got super lucky with finding a great price, and I think $76 is probably a little extreme. But if you're not too picky about color, you may be able to find a pair for under $100. And although I don't recommend it, full price will usually cost you between about $170 and $190. Now, we got to get into this box right here. I had to purchase a new pair of Adidas Ultraboost 1.0 sneakers. And again, I was able to find this pair on Dick's Sporting Goods website for just $86. Remember what I said about not being too picky about color? I didn't really want Carolina colors. And we'll get into why I had to buy a new pair of Adidas Ultraboost before the end of the video. I think there are two things which both are glaringly noticeable when first trying the Adidas Ultraboost 1.0 sneakers. And that's the feel of the Adidas Ultraboost shoe sole underfoot and the sock-like feel of the prime knit upper. The Boost shoe sole is made of a TPU. That's a thermoplastic polyurethane. It's got something to do with fusing together small pellets of polyurethane. I don't really know. I'm not a scientist, but what I do know is that the end result is a soft and responsive shoe sole supported by a nice rubber traction pattern on the bottom of the outsole. What's significant here is the shoe sole is soft, especially for how thick it is, or maybe I should say how thick it isn't. The Adidas Ultraboost exists in contrast to many of the high-stack, thick-sole shoes that are so popular today. The Ultraboost aren't a shoe that significantly separates your foot from the ground, yet I feel they provide enough cushion to absorb impact and my foot still feels protected. Then, the prime knit upper does fit similar to a sock, which hugs the foot gently. The soft knit material allows your foot to splay and your toes to wiggle freely, and yet the gentle hug from the upper provides just enough support that once again, my foot feels protected. The Adidas Ultraboost 1.0 kind of feel like both a slipper and a pair of sneakers simultaneously. So I find it surprising that they're actually a relatively heavy shoe. With my size 11 weighing in at more than 12 ounces, they're actually some of the heavier shoes in my collection, but you would never know it from wearing them. You actually might think the opposite, that they're light, but really they're not. As a matter of fact, my new ones weighed in at 13 ounces and are the heaviest shoes I own. The flexibility in the Adidas Ultraboost is that unique characteristic to which I was referring to earlier. The Adidas 1.0 are the most flexible shoes that I own, not named Hey Dudes. In some type of way, the Adidas still managed to feel supportive enough that I still enjoy them for running and for long exercise type walks. And the Ultraboost managed to accomplish all of this while restricting my foot less than most of my other sneakers, which quite frankly is the reason that I value the Ultraboost. But it's also the reason that I believe they may not work for some, especially people who are looking for something more supportive in a shoe. Since owning the Adidas Ultraboost 1.0 sneakers, they have become my #1 go-to do everything in shoes and my #1 pair of travel shoes. Every trip we've taken since I've owned the Ultraboost, I've taken the Ultraboost. Whether it was a weekend in Nashville or 2 weeks in Europe, whether I take 2 pairs of shoes or whether I take 1 pair, the Ultraboost 1.0 were always there. The kid's got dope ride skills, I swear.
That boy is good. Good and terrible.
And honestly, I just come to realize this recently. I mean, I don't even think about it when packing. I just automatically grab them. So why did I need to buy a new pair of the Adidas Ultraboost? Like I said, the Adidas Ultraboost are my #1 pair of do everything in shoes. So much so that when a buddy asked me to play around in tennis and I agreed, and lacking any proper tennis shoes, I chose to wear my Adidas Ultraboost. And unfortunately, I didn't make it through the entire set without injuring both myself and my Adidas Ultraboost sneakers, which I thought previously were damn near invincible. So I had to replace them. And that's not something I do every day, which is to buy a shoe that I just had, since I'm always trying to try something new for this channel. But that's how important it was for me to have a fully functional pair of Adidas Ultraboost 1.0 sneakers in my collection. What can I say? It's just my thing. Thanks a bunch for watching. Until the next one, fitness and beer.